Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filling out 4 more pages of my Create This Book and Create This Book 2. Both written and created by a YouTuber here on YouTube, Mariah Elizabeth. Create This Book and Create This Book 2 are both prompt books where each page gives you a different art project or a different art prompt for you to fill in. Today I'm going to be filling out these 4 pages. And the first page that I'm going to be filling out says create letters. Basically, it's telling you to fill out the page with different letters and drawings with the letters without really writing any words, just using the letters for aesthetic value. But before I start filling out any of these pages, I line all of my pages with some printer paper to give it more strength and to hold up all the paint and marker that I'm going to be using, and so it won't bleed through the other pages. I even traced over one of the prompts that I'm going to be doing today to cut out the shape that I'm going to be using on top of my cutting mats, just to ensure that I'm not covering up the actual prompt on the page and only adding the paper on top of where I'm actually going to be drawing and doing the art. Now that I finished protecting all of my pages and preparing them, I started off by drawing on different letters in different places with different colors and different fonts and designs. This page isn't really a difficult page, it's really probably one of the easier pages that are in these books, but it was also really relaxing to just take time and draw whatever with the letters and draw them in any way. It kind of felt like I was practicing calligraphy just without the refined letters. And although you weren't really supposed to write anything with the letters, I did end up writing and making one word on the left page. And with following the rules for these books that I've put, I did put my initials and the date on this page and every other page. Moving on to the next page, it says create a meal. Draw or write about your ideal meal. So for me, this page was actually pretty complicated just because I don't really have a favorite or ideal meal, and I couldn't really come up with what I was wanting to draw or write about. And the only thing that I could really get inspired by was actually not a meal, it was more so my favorite drink, which is actually the strawberry matcha milk tea with tapioca pearls. And so that's what I decided to draw for this page. I only recently started drinking this. I've actually not drunken it many times, but the few times that I have drunken it, I've really liked it, and it's become one of my favorite drinks. And the 4 pages that I'm doing today in my Create This Book and Create This Book 2 are all pretty easy and simple. They didn't take me a long time to fill out, but that's one of the main reasons I really love Create This Book and Create This Book 2. It's because it gives a good break in between like painting projects, and it really helps to like refresh your creativity and helps like to beat artist block. I personally like to use it right after or right before or during a big art project that I'm doing, just to kind of unfocus and de-stress a little. The art in these pages don't necessarily have to be good. They are kind of just to take time and relax. And so that really leaves off a lot of pressure when making art. And so after putting my initials and the date on the page, this is how the final page turned out. And actually, I have a third page from my first Create This book that I haven't shown you all yet. And it's honestly because I forgot that I even did this page. I did this page a few years ago when I first got my Create This book. But now we're finished with Create This book and we're moving on to Create This book 2, where we'll be doing 2 more pages. The first page is the Create a List of Favorites page, which basically asks us to choose a topic like movies or shows and books. And I actually decided to go with books as my topic, mainly because I have lots of favorite books. I like to read a lot, and so I have a big collection of books. And so I decided to make the list of some of my favorite books because they all wouldn't have fit in these 2 pages. Now this page for me didn't end up being very artistic. It was mainly just me writing down some of my favorite books. But there was the possibility of doing something a little more artistic with this page, but I decided to just go very simple for this page. And here's the list of some of my favorite books. And my favorite book is actually the book of Esther found in the Bible, which was the first book that I put on this page, and I actually have a video about. But now moving on to the last page for today, which says Create Randomness. This page was really difficult for me. It ended up becoming a hot mess really quickly. I was wanting to do a cool design with the string and paint that you see lots of people do online, but it didn't really work out for me, and I ended up just creating a big mess over everything. And I tried to fix it, but there wasn't much to saving this. And so then I decided to just draw random things with fabric paint on top of this mess. This page is definitely my least favorite so far that I've ever done in my Create This book. It's not a good representation of my art or what I can do. Honestly, I was debating on like restarting and like redoing the page, but the paint had already messed up the pages too much that covering it would be too difficult. And so I decided to just have this page to do lots of random things with paint on it. And so this is my Create Randomness page, which turned out to be more Create a Hot Mess page. Again, this isn't a good representation of my art and what I do, but I thought it would be nice to show, just to show that you don't always have to create good art. It's okay to kind of let go and create a mess if you want to every now and then. And this is how the 4 pages that I did for this week came out. I had a lot of fun, as I always do, filling out these pages in my Create This Book and Create This Book 2. It's honestly a great way to relieve stress and to get your creative juices flowing again, and just to keep you inspired to keep doing art and be creative. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and God bless you.